Hey guys, in this video, I'll show you how to update your DeviationTX radio to the latest version in Mac OS X. This process will apply to any radio transmitter running DeviationTX and not just the T8SG. Like all DeviationTX radios, in order to flash it, we have to put it into Dfu mode. So hook up the included mini USB cable, and then what you want to do is hold down the back button and then quickly tap the power button to enable it, and the light should come on, and then the screen should stay blank. You don't want to hold the power button too long. You just want to quickly do a quick tap. On the jumper radios, the screen stays blank, but some of them may have something on the screen. But now that it's in DFU mode, just hook it up to your computer and you're ready to start the firmware updating process. For some DeviationTX radios, they have an EXT button which you hold down and then you flick the switch to enter DFU mode. Again, for this particular radio, the screen remains blank, as you can see here. If you're using a Mac, you're going to use an application called Deviation Uploader, and at the time of this video, it's in version 0.9.0, and you can get that on the test build section of the downloads on DeviationTX.com, and you want to download this Java application. And once you do that, make sure you unzip that. You will also need to download the Java development kit as well for Mac. There are development kits for Windows and Linux and various other operating systems, of course. But in our example here, we're going to be using the Mac version. So make sure you download and install that as well. If you haven't already done so, you will also need to download the latest version of the DeviationTX firmware from the nightly build section for your transmitter. In my case here, it's the V2 Plus, so make sure you grab the right one, because if you flash with the wrong version, it could brick your transmitter. If you already have the Java development kit installed, you can just right-click the application here, the jar file, and go open with jar launcher. And I already have it launched, so I'm just going to click over to here. Make sure your transmitter is in DFU mode and hooked up to your computer. Just hold down the back button on the transmitter and quickly tap the power button, and then it should enter DFU mode. I'm going to quickly hook it up to my Mac right now, and it should start populating on the top portion of this application once it's detected it. I didn't have to install any drivers or anything, but on my Mac it just detected it, and there it is with the internal flash memory, etc. And now what we're going to do is select the packages for the installation. So this is where you downloaded the firmware package from DeviationTX.com, and this is also the DFU file. So I'm going to bring this over here so you can see. So we're going to flash the firmware first, so you want to select the DFU file here, and I'm going to click open after that. And what you want to do is click send. This process for me took about a minute or two, so it wasn't terribly long. And then once it's done, you want to click OK. And for the next step, we want to copy the folders and files from the firmware package over to the transmitter itself. And for some reason here, my window is a little bit screwed up. But the easiest way to fix this, I find, is just resize the window. I don't know why this happens, but all I had to do was resize it here by dragging the border, and it fixed everything. I wasn't able to do a full install with this application. I had to install the DFU file separately, as I shown you in the previous step, and then I had to choose Advanced, which let me install the individual files by itself. So I had to choose install library, replace TX-INI, hardware INI, replace models, and then I clicked install or upgrade. This is where it copies the folders and the files from the Deviation firmware package, the zip file that we downloaded earlier, to the onboard storage of the transmitter. And this will also take a minute or two, and when it's done, click OK. And turn off your transmitter by holding the power button for about 3 seconds, and then unplug the USB cable from the computer. Now I'm going to demo the transmitter with the latest version of DeviationTX. You'll see the new splash screen and the version that it is running. And as you can see, I'm running T8SG, the version made specifically for this transmitter, and that's the version at the time of this video. Anyways, that's it for this video. Links to everything should be in the description if you're interested in any of the things I mentioned. If you like what you see, comment, like, share, or subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.